ready to go.
You and me, a dream team.
Very good choice, my friend. Let's go for the title defense.
Welcome to the grand finale here at the Hockenheim ring. The DTM season 2013 is almost finished, but only almost, as we have one final race. The DTM champ 2013 is already crowned. Mike Rockenfeller certainly deserves it, as he had a very consistent season this year. And two other titles are still open. That is the team and the manufacturer championship. And BMW certainly has a great chance, as they did so well in the qualifying yesterday with 4 BMWs in the top 4. And one other title is also already decided, and that is Rookie of the Year. And he is right here, Marco Wittmann. First of all, congratulations. You're a rookie and you already claimed that title. Now you're starting from P6 today. Where do you think can you go from there?
Actually, first of all, I think we need to have a clear first lap. Today is raining, it's completely wet, so I think it will be an exciting race. We had no test chance in the rain this weekend, so it will be for everybody the same conditions. And of course, in rain, everything is possible. So I try my best, and of course, it would be nice to achieve a podium to the end of the season.
That would be fantastic. Best of luck. Thank you very much. And now to the commentators.
Thanks very much, Verena. Great to have you back here on this wet and rainy day at Hockenheim. We're going to start by checking out the track with the Hankook animation. This circuit always starts the season and, of course, finishes it. Popular venue for many DTM races and, of course, the German Grand Prix. And firstly, you come to the Nord curve. This is 180 kilometers an hour, fourth gear, and then still accelerating down to the Bernie Eccleston curve now, right down to second gear for that one, 90 kilometers an hour. And then we head into the section known as the Parabolica, pulling quite a lot of G round here, heading towards the fastest part of the circuit. They'll be deploying the DRS here up to maybe 256, 257 kilometers an hour as they head towards the very tight first gear hairpin, down to 65 kilometers an hour, trying to get maximum traction out of here, accelerating on the old return straight briefly before turning off into a section where the corners don't have any names, but there's firstly a right, and then it flicks slightly to the left, and then into the tight 90 left. They're just negotiating that now, and then bending back to the right again, third gear corner, 150, then back onto the return straight again for the sprint down into the stadium section where there's 120,000 grandstand seats. Then we're diving into the Sachs curve here, slightly banked around this one. Second gear corner, accelerating out. Again, very important to get good traction through here. A bit of an S wiggle before we go into another sharp right-hander, which is basically a double corner because it then brings us into the right-hander and back towards the start-finish line. So that is a very frantic lap of Hockenheim. So Verena's working away down there on the grid, and we can get right back to her now.
So now I'm here with Mike Rockenfeller and Ernst Moser. Great that you've got the time. I've got a quick question, first of all. DTM Champ 2013, congratulations, a fantastic job you did. But how does it feel, and did you already actually realize it? I mean, sometimes it takes a while. You worked so hard for 7 years, and now finally you managed to get the DTM champion title.
I'm
I'm just enjoying the moment, you know. It was great to win it, the one race before the end in Zandvoort. Now we are here in Hockenheim. You know, people come to you, they show you the poster or the stickers, and you realize, yeah, I won the championship finally. It's a great feeling, great relief. A lot of pressure came off my shoulders, and I'm just enjoying like I said, the moment and trying, yeah, to realize what we achieved, because I think this year it was really tough. We didn't expect this after last year's season, and therefore we can be proud of ourselves.
Absolutely, and Ernst Moser can also really be proud, not only of his job he did, also you did a fantastic job. 2011, Martin Tomczyk got the title, now it's Rocky. What makes the Team Phoenix so incredibly strong?
I think it's not only one answer. I think first of all we need a good driver, and then we need a fast car, and then I think the team do this year a lot right. And yeah, from the strategy side, we have some races where we are really different to the others, and in the end, one race before the end, we are the champion.
Perfect job you did. But now the race today might be a different question, because you're P9, you've got 4 BMW ahead of you. However, there's still 2 titles that Audi or you might want to win. I bet you do want to win. But what's the prognosis? What do you think for the race today?
I think it's going to be a good race, first of all, because all the drivers are motivated, you know, to have a good last race. Driver championship is decided, so pressure is off from everybody a little bit. We have 2 goals. We want to win the constructor title and also the team title for Phoenix. And Miguel is my teammate. He's P5. I'm P9 today. So yeah, it's still some room for improvement. We try hard. I hope we have the right strategy again, and we can end up in the front. That's the goal, of course, and we fight.
All right, well, it's going to be an exciting race. Thank you very much.
So here's the starting grid, and a slightly different look about it. Bruno Spengler, the outgoing champion, starts on the pole. Dirk Werner alongside him, the 2 Schnitzer cars together. On row 2, his best ever DTM performance, Andy Prio. He's switched his braking technique. Timo Glock alongside him. Miguel Molina and Marco Wittmann line up in 5th and 6th places. And then in 7th and 8th spots, it's Matthias Ekstrom, the former champion, and Adrian Tambay, both, of course, for Audi. No Mercs yet. Then it's Mike Rockenfeller, the new champion, and Augusto Farfus, who won here in May and is looking for his 3rd successive victory in the DTM, actually. Martin Tomczyk and Timo Scheider start 11th and 12th, 2 former champions together there on that row of the grid. Rob Wickens, who we think might be very good in these wet conditions, and Felipe Albuquerque 13th and 14th. Then it's Pascal Wehrlein and Gary Paffett. Again, 2 Mercedes, been struggling at the latter end of the season. Then Danny Juncadella and Edo Mortara, 2 former Formula 3 rivals together. Jamie Green and Christian Vittoris are in 19th and 20th place. And then on the back row of the grid, surprising, the BMW of Joey Hand alongside Roberto Merri. So that is the lineup. And now we can go to Verena, who is with the pole sitter. Verena.
Yes, I'm now here with Bruno Spengler, who, as you can see, is just getting into the car, getting strapped up, obviously, because that is absolutely crucial. Now, he didn't manage to defend the title this year, as we all know. However, he is in pole position, as he was last year at the Hockenheim ring as well. So maybe at least he'll be able to win the race, because I believe that is absolutely important to go out of the season with a feeling like that. I'm going to try to grab him in just a second when he's strapped all in and ask him about how his feeling is about the race, because obviously the weather conditions, we talked about that already today, are absolutely different. So I know it's the same for everybody. However, let's see how Bruno feels about that. I mean, he is good with the rain, as we know. So I'm going to try to grab him here in just a little second. Okay, so I see he's almost strapped in. And obviously he's also trying to focus now and concentrate, so it's going to be a really, really quick question in just a second. He's going to be obviously happy about the fact that there are 3 BMWs right behind him, so that might help him as well. That's certainly a very good start. How did his boss, Mr. Marquardt, say yesterday? It's a mega situation, so we got to just drive quickly. Bruno, just quickly, how do you feel about the race and about winning it?
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be interesting. I like rain conditions, so yeah, it's going to be long and interesting, but also a tough one, you know, it's going to be really hard.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck. Thank you very much, Bruno. So better get out of here and back to you guys.
Well done, Verena. That was a bit difficult there. And, of course, Bruno still in that four-way fight for third place in the championship. Rockefeller set, of course, as the champion and Farfus as the runner-up. But there's still a battle going on for third. Dave, here is the lineup.
Yeah, so Bruno Spengler, Dirk Werner, Andy Prio. Brilliant quali from Andy Prio, Timo Glock. Then Molina and Marco Wittmann. Then it's Ekstrom, Tombe, Rockefeller. Farfus, Tomczyk, Scheider, Wickens, the first Mercedes to show. Albuquerque, Verline, Gary Paffett, Danny Juncadella, and it's Mortara Green, Vitoris, Merry, and Hand. And, well, weather conditions very, very different, Andrew Marriott, to yesterday. Is this going to help Mercedes-Benz, who, let's be truthful, had a torrid qualifying session?
I think it will, Dave, but of course the problem is they're going to be mired back in all that spray, and there's going to be vast balls of spray here. We had a Formula 3 race earlier on in which they had to bring out the safety car a couple of times, so it's going to be very difficult conditions. Just a little word on Andy Prio. I alluded to it as we saw the grid. He has finally decided to switch back to the more conventional right foot braking. Now, the conventional wisdom in a DTM car is that left foot braking is quicker, but and it's fractions of a second, of course, but Andy obviously never been comfortable with it. He switched back to right foot braking, and I don't know if that's following his excellent drive to 10th place last weekend in the Bathurst 1000, where he had a great run with Matthias Ekstrom, and it was maybe a fraction quicker than Eki most of the weekend, but all of a sudden Andy Prio has found some new speed, and it might just keep him in the BMW DTM team, because there's been a big question mark over that. Nice shot there of Timo Glock, who actually starts fourth. He did put in the third fastest time, but in the one-lap shootout, that time was eradicated. I think he went wide, if I remember, so he just swapped sides. Makes very little difference. There we look down from the helicopter on this soaking rain-soaked circuit, I should say, here at Hockenheim. There are the points: Rockefeller, Farfus and Vitoris. And now I think we can get down to Verena again.
Yes, here I am with Toto Wolff and with Formula One star Lewis Hamilton. I'm absolutely thrilled that you're here. Now let's first of all talk about the season, Mercedes, and I'm thrilled that you're here as well, of course. Let's talk about the season quickly. 6 cars instead of 8. It was pretty difficult for Mercedes-Benz. The strategy didn't quite seem to fit. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it was a difficult season for us, which ended in a difficult race. But I guess it's just, diving through it, this race. The conditions are extremely difficult, and do it better next year. And we have a great support here, a future lineup. So it's, let's see, it's gonna get better.
Speaking of future lineup, I mean, we've seen a lot of Formula One stars after the Formula One career coming here. You're still right in there in the Formula One, doing extremely well. However, maybe in the future, DTM?
I mean, it's a great place to be. So, I mean, I just drove the DTM car for the first time this morning, and it was great fun. So, literally, I was walking down the pit lane just now, and I was thinking, yeah, this could be a place for me. If I'm sure for all us drivers that we stop, we still have the bug to race. So, I'm sure it's a great place to come in such a great racing.
We'd love to see you one day. So, best of luck for the race. Do enjoy the race, and back to you guys, to the commentators.
Well, that could be headlines, Dave. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, he's got a long way to go in his Formula One career yet, as Lewis Hamilton. And I have seen him at DTM races at Brands Hatch before, of course, but demonstrating Formula One cars. There's Mike Rockefeller, then the new champion. What a great season. And I'd like to add to his 2 wins this year. See what he can do in these appalling conditions. Formula 3 race started under a safety car, and I'm not expecting that here, because about an hour or so ago the rain abated, and the track, I wouldn't say it's drying up, but it's certainly not quite as devastatingly puddly as it was in the past. There's the impressive glass trophy, and as we said, this battle going on for the teams championship between Team Phoenix, which is Rockefeller and Molina, and BMW Team RBM, the Belgian team, which is Farfus and Hand. And right in there also is the still AMG Mercedes team of Vittoris and Wickens, and all those can still win that team's trophy. The manufacturer's trophy, Audi have 325 to BMW's 317. A really strong BMW race today. Could see them just tip Audi out of that position. It's been a very long time since Audi won all 3 of the titles. So, looking down on the familiar now blue and green car of Mike Rockenfeller. And Rocky, of course, this year just concentrating on the DTM. No LMP1 trips for him. No races in that championship, not even Le Mans. So whether that meant he could just concentrate on this more.
It's interesting, isn't it, that you make that point, Andrew, that he's been able to focus and concentrate on that, as we see once again the starting grid. And then you mentioned and alluded to Andy Priaulx, who has just come back from being very, very quick elsewhere, and that seems to have really buoyed him going into this final race of the DTM, and that's why we see him as high up the order as we do. Should also mention the fact that brilliant qualifying from Timo Glock as well, Andrew, as we were just talking about Formula One stars.
Yeah, Timo Glock, well, he indeed was a star, and everyone, of course, running on the rain tyres. We were given the list of who might be on the options there. Norbert Haug, of course, and Bernd Schneider, the most successful driver ever in the DTM and the most successful ever here at Hockenheim. Of the current drivers, Gary Paffett has got 4 wins here, but I think Schneider's, by memory, was something like 7. Norbert Haug, nice to see him, because this was his last race in charge of the Mercedes squad last year, and then the surprise resignation. And now Toto Wolff, who at the time, of course, was at Williams, but is a venture capitalist by trade, now running the Mercedes Formula One operation. And married, of course, to former DTM driver Susie Wolff, who last year drove her last race here, as did David Coulthard. There's Jens Marquardt from BMW, his predecessor Mario Tyson here. Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich not here this weekend. He's been at a very wet Fuji racetrack, where indeed Toyota did beat Audi in the World Endurance Championship race earlier this morning, in a race that was just torn apart by the weather, and was mainly run under the safety car. So everybody lining up, obviously getting good traction off the start is so important here. We've seen incidents plenty at the first corner here in the previous races. There's Gary Paffett's wife, one of the 3 sons down there. So the big question mark, can Mercedes improve here as the lights go? 4, 5, they extinguish. Who gets the best start? And I think it's Bruno Spengler, certainly going well. Farfus comes across in front of Rockenfeller and into the first corner. Spengler gets an absolutely brilliant start.
So Farfus trying his luck around the outside, and Rocky out wide, as you can see. 3, 4 cars out there. One of those, Rob Wickens, running out as well, as they head around the first couple of turns here at Hockenheim. This final DTM race of the season, as a little lump into
Farfus goes round and Rockenfeller goes wide to miss it all.
So Farfus then, having gone around the outside and made good his progress, gets tipped out on board with Mike Rockenfeller now around this long sweeping parabolica.
Just see all the spray in Rockenfeller's face there. Bruno Spengler, though, brilliant start. Picking his way round the hairpin, staying off the apex, getting a bit more traction on the outside. Timo Glock getting a little tiny nudge from Ekstrom, I think. Is everybody going to get round there? Gary Paffett out wide. Priaulx in second place. Molina third. It's been a good start from Molina. Priaulx then in the Crown Plaza car. How nice to see him up at the sharp end. And Rob Wickens being nudged off.
And another car round there as well.
Yeah, I think it was Tarnbay, wasn't it, that nudged him off.
So there is Andy Prio, bit of a twitchy moment there in second place.
Molina in the all-red car, Werner dropping back to the fourth, then Rocky's in there, but it's Glock who is behind Werner.
So there our race leader, Bruno Spengler. There's P2, Andy Prio, Molina, P3.
Tomczyk going through our picture then.
Roberto Merry under investigation, Andrew.
Roberto Merry started on the back of the grid, the Formula 3 champion from a couple of years ago. Timo Scheider in 10th.
And as you can see on screen there, drive-through penalty, jump start for car number 4. So that jump start going to cost dear.
Well, that was the Merry under investigation. That's what that was. You're seeing Gary Paffett get stuck in there. You see the blue and yellow car, the Euronics have just announced they're sponsoring that again next year. Obviously happy with their investment.
Verline ahead of him, and just the spray being chucked off the of those cars.
What about Jamie Green? He is currently shown down in 14th place. Oh, real traffic. Oh, that doesn't work.
Trying to go through the middle there.
And Rob Wickens being attacked. So Merry drive-through penalty to really cap what has been a pretty awful season for Roberto, second in the DTM. There's Mortara with the Playboy car, and Paffett goes past his teammate.
So on board with Pascal Verline then. You can see Paffett in the blue and yellow ahead of him now, and Paffett on Mortara. And there we bring that shot to you.
Spengler has got the feel for this track, just gone purple in the first and second segments on this lap as Verline attacks his much more senior teammate. There's Timo Scheider. Timo was on pole for the May race here, but really hasn't had a very good season until, well, just the last race or so. Rockefeller, Scheider, Mortara, Paffett 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. Adrian Tambe down there in 21. He's one we saw actually in that tussle earlier on as the drive-through happens. Yeah, we saw him creep, Merry, and then he checked it up again. And that was enough to get him a penalty, so he'll be running the back of the field. Albuquerque is in the pits, Dave. He was involved in a little incident. And Werner just drives right down the inside of the red Audi, right past Molina.
Now Timo Glock looking to have a go as well.
So it's a BMW 1-2-3 now. And Glock looking racy. He's going to go for the inside, and Glock's going to make this stick surely. Comes out nice and clean. Molina has to come off the throttle to let him slot by, but good move by Timo Glock. But certainly the fastest man out there at the moment is Bruno Spengler. Class act is the French-Canadian. Replay of Werner. Well, there's a little bit of nudging going on. Some of the carbon parts went flying. Typical DTM stuff, really. Timo Glock got a good view of that.
Yes, and undoubtedly Timo able to take advantage of it. Here's the start, and it was
Glock who hit Farfus.
Rocky was involved in it as well, just caught up in it. See it from on board Farfus's car. Wickens did well to advise, so did Jungadella.
Got out of there well. Now I want to see what happened to Albuquerque. Rocky. That was a Rocky touching Tambe. Tambe still running in 19th place. Somewhere Albuquerque's been involved in an incident as well. of the ladies of Audi. And look at Glock down the inside again. Spirited battle between these two.
Yeah, that was a replay of his earlier overtake.
And this was the Wickens, and there is Merry. That was before he did his drive-through. Hand is still down in the 20th spot. Thought we might see some good motoring from Hand, but his last lap was very slow. Maybe he had half spin or something, unseen by us.
Spengler, as you say, handling these conditions absolutely perfectly. Holding station in second place, though, Andy Prio. Andrew?
Yeah, Prio certainly found the speed. BMW 1, 2, 3, 4. A stay like this will bring them the manufacturer's title. Again, more replays of the start from our camera up on the crane. Farfus made an excellent start.
Yes.
Just watching Farfus there. Rocky decided it was a good place to be outside. Werner's start was a bit lackluster.
So too Whitman's.
Yep.
So replay on board Mike Rockefeller's car, and that's Farfus absolutely slicing through the pack, wasn't he?
Torres down in 16th place. Airline has just been in the pits. Although they're all on rain cars, we don't have the option and regular tyre situation. They still, of course, have to make the 2 mandatory stops.
So there, Werner, there, Glock.
The rain is holding off now, but of course there's so much residual water on the track, making these conditions very tricky indeed. But the man who is proving to be the rain master at the moment is certainly Bruno Spengler. Prio in second place is now 4.5 seconds behind, and it's Werner and Glock. Molina the best of the non-BMWs. Tomczyk up there in 6th place. Whitman 7th, Ekstrom 8th. Rocky's in 9th. Timo Scheider is in 10th spot.
Glock is really pressuring Werner now.
Well, as befits a man who's been on the podium in Formula 1 there, the flags wave, and Glock just pulled out the slipstream to have a little look here at the Nord curve.
Werner got it wrong.
Werner just lost it, the back end broke away.
Yeah.
Had to come off the throttle, and Timo Glock said thank you very much. And Timo Glock would love to finish his first season of the DTM in or on the podium. Farfus puts a new set of rubber on. So I think that's done just to get him out into some fresh air.
Yeah.
And out the spray. Tomczyk on Molina. Have to watch for Martin Tomczyk, a rainmeister. Well, on that wet day at the Nürburgring earlier in the year, so we're watching for him.
Well, he's just ahead of us there as we go on board with Marco Wittmann. There's Andy Prio, P2. Timo Glock now, P3. The all-yellow Deutsche Post colours of Timo Glock's car.
Glock certainly on the charge. He's after Prio now.
And this is how just the back stepped out of Werner's car, didn't it? And that was enough for Glock, who was on it.
Not so much grip on that AstroTurf.
No.
Here's a super slow-mo shot of Tomczyk in the familiar BMW colours there on Spanish Molina. Rocky decides to come in. He's going to be on a similar strategy. In that interview you heard Ernst Moser say, well, often we've gone on a completely different strategy to the others and tended to work for us. New set of tyres. He comes out in front of Rob Wickens, who also making a stop. Unscrubbed wets going on, as you heard them say before the start. There hasn't been any wet weather. Oh, that was close.
Very close.
Oh, goodness me.
So as we watch Rob Wickens exit the pits, then best placed Mercedes at the moment, Paffett in P11, Andrew.
Yeah, so Joey Hahn very nearly caught up with that. He accelerates away in the Exide battery car.
Here it is.
Well, two North Americans almost coming into collision. But Wickens reacted. Wickens under investigation for that. Well, really it's his team under investigation. Rob goes when he's told to go. And he did a good job to let Hahn through.
Christian Vettoris then setting the fastest lap. As we see Prio, Glock.
Yeah, Vettoris is down in 15th. One of those men that is fighting for that third place in the championship. He's still third in the championship. He's had a very good season as Vettoris. Good replay there. It's Molina
up the inside of Werner.
Yeah, that battle continues, doesn't it?
Yeah. Both Werner and Wittmann in now.
On board with Wittmann. Tomczyk there on Ekstrom, two old rivals. Ekstrom gives him enough room. Then is correctly placed for the fast left-hander. Stays ahead of Tomczyk. Don't know how long that will last for. BMW certainly got a good set. How close can you get? What a absolutely fabulous tracking shot there. And still they're wheel to wheel here, David.
That is remarkable, isn't it?
Timo Scheider getting a good view, and he's going to... well, he gets past Tomczyk in the process. Is he going to stay there? Yeah, and he's past the pair of them.
Well, Scheider...
it was there for the taking. Well, they were too busy fighting each other.
Yeah. Well, he took brilliant advantage of that, didn't he? But runs wide now, and this battle continues to rage, Andrew. The three of them together there as they come off that turn, and we pick them up once again.
Spengler increased his lead now to 5.4 seconds over Andy Prio. Glock in third, riding with Timo Scheider. Here's Farfus and Rob Wickens. A bit of nudging match. Something hanging off the... then giving a big push there. Farfus being really elbows out now. Very aggressive driving from Farfus as Tomczyk comes in. So does Gary Paffett. A lot of people making their pit stops. Got about 7 or 8 left.
So here comes Paffett. Out then is stop done. On board with Rocky now. Attacking Werner.
I don't think there's really a... Well, maybe there is a bit of a drying line there, David, now. You just see on that shot. So, the Glock.
Well, that's Glock on Prio.
Yeah, Glock just flies past Prio.
So that's Timo Glock up into P2 now.
Glock certainly impressing today. Priaulx demoted. Still a BMW 123 at the moment.
And he took a very wide line into that corner, didn't he? And
He
Timo
did.
just took that.
Oh,
A bit of nerfing going on, Andrew.
yeah. So getting a bit tough, isn't it, down there? Torres and Tambay, two silver cars together. And now Bruno Spengler's almost got the whole of the pit straight. But it's Timo Glock. What sort of times can Glock do now? Werner Rockenfeller at it, racing all down the field.
Now, just being told that Robert Wickens getting a penalty of 5 seconds, unsafe release from the pits. Andrew, you'd said that was going to be investigated.
Yep, that's the case. So now we've got some quick laps coming in from Berry, who's come right up to 10th place at the moment. He hasn't made a stop, of course, and he's the back of the ones who have stayed out. But he's been doing some quick lap times just recently. Whitman, another that's down in the 151s. Most people in the 52s. Priaulx's pace just dropped off a couple of seconds that last lap. That was maybe just coming off the throttle when Glock went by him.
Interestingly, last time round, Glock was quicker than Spengler. So Glock on an absolute charge. There he is in P2. Just saw him going through your picture. There's P3, Andy Priaulx, who's going to come under pressure perhaps from Molina there in the all-red Audi. Here's Scheider then, taking a very wide line there, very nearly getting caught into the gravel. So Eki able to take advantage of that.
Very good drive from Molina, who's not been having a good season. I think he's right down in something like 18th place in the championship. Hasn't been a great year for the Spaniard. On board with Mike Rockenfeller then, the champion. Likes to spend time in the country, he tells us. I think he's got a bit of a farm. And there, Jamie Green in the Red Bull car with the yellow markings. Green ahead of Tomczyk. Green having a reasonable run at the moment. Tambay challenging Paffett.
They really are close there, Tambay and Paffett.
That's for 16th place, but remember they both been in the pits.
Here comes our race leader then into shot, Bruno Spengler. There in P2 then, the all-yellow machine of Timo Glock.
Yeah, Glock's just chipped a fifth of a second off the lead again. There's Priaulx hanging on to third place. Molina after him, Ekstrom, Timo Scheider.
And Priaulx dives in then. We pick him up. This is in the pit lane now. First stop for Andy Priaulx.
Yeah, the Guernseyman stops on his marks. Team goes to work. The Team RB, but RMG, get my initials right. Which teams are over the winter? Comes out right in front of the ice car. Again, there's a bit of a driest line round there.
So on lap 11 of 42. There's Wittmann then, P9, Prio then back out from his pit stop at P10. There's Jamie Green, Tomczyk, then Mike Rockenfeller. Then we see Werner and Verline on board with Mike Rockenfeller now. Interestingly, still think Timo Glock is on a bit of a charge here, Andrew.
Well, he definitely is. The gap is now close to 4.3. So he's just taking a fifth, a tenth of a second off him each lap. Gary Paffett in that big battle down there. And Paffett just passed by Vitoris. Harfus with a watching brief.
So on board with Farfus then as he hounds the Euronics Mercedes of Gary Paffett.
Riding here with Farfus. And that's a replay there of that's Tombe alongside Paffett. I've been sure there's some nudging going on, leaning on each other. Some pretty forceful racing going on today in the rain.
So Melina P3, Ekstrom P4, and Matthias Ekstrom just sets the fastest lap, a 1:55.80.
Wittmann just ahead of Prio in 8th and 9th. The highest place of the pit stoppers. Ekstrom putting pressure on his teammate Melina. Lots of flames out the both sides of the Playboy car of Swiss Mortara, Swiss Italian if you will. And Farfus going to lean on Paffett in that replay. Seeing it from a couple of angles. Molina makes his pit stop and accelerates down an empty pit lane. And he's been given a black and white warning flag. Basically, he gets away with it. Block still just closing up, just slightly each lap on Spengler. Ekstrom in third place. Eki so unlucky to have that win taken away from him at the Norris Ring after the famous water bottle down the leg incident. There's Prio. Heated discussions there. Can you lip read in German, Dave?
No.
Probably not. Well, more pushing and shoving and boisterous stuff going on. So, Werner, a little bit in the wars. Has sat now. Yeah, Spengler comes in. Toto Wolff, having had that argument with the fellow Mercedes management man. I assume it's about when they make pit stops. And Merry making very good progress indeed. Merry doing a pretty good job from the back. Now,
just looking at the messages, Gary Paffett, black and white flag, and also Werner, black and white flag.
Yeah, I think we saw that one.
Merry now with the fastest lap. A 52.57, 152.57.
Spengler, though, the highest place of the people who've made pit stop.
Yep.
De facto in the lead of the race. And Whitman. Melina Prio's behind Melina now. Here's Timo Glock, though, currently in the lead. His debut DTM race here back in May was somewhat short-lived, but certainly going well now.
So still to stop, Timo Glock, Ekstrom, Scheide Junkadella, and
Merry. Albuquerque the only one that's out in an early incident. I'll suggest there's just not quite as much spray now, that line.
I agree.
Yeah, rather more positive. There's Prio comes out just ahead of Timo Scheide. Still Prio now chasing after the all-red Audi. On board with Timo Scheide.
And Scheide being passed by Green.
Interesting to see what sort of lap time Spengler can get in. Right down the inside. Is that going to work from Martin Tomczyk? Goes past Timo Scheide. Chasing after Green. That's for 10th, 11th places.
With Timo Scheide then. P11.
Only 16 laps into this one. A lot of racing yet to do here. Prio now under attack from McGreen. There's Farfus and Paffett together. Farfus and Paffett 18th and 19th at the moment.
So lap 16 of 42 as we're back on board with Farfus looking back at Gary Paffett. Just trying to look to see down the start-finish straight, Andrew, as to how that track is. Certainly nothing like the spray, is there?
No, it's drying up a bit now. No DRS, have we, in this race? Because of the rain. Second, because we didn't have it at Zandvoort. It's deemed dangerous. They might allow it if it dries up. Shot there of the guys. End of a long, hard season. Prio then holding off Jamie Green. That's now the battle for 8th place. Tom Chick in that little trio of cars as well. Glock's lead over Ekstrom, 4.5 seconds. And here comes Tom Chick on green. Goes for the inside. And Green cuts him off. Green just has the back end step out a little bit. Jamie Green, of course, new to Audi this season. Tom Chick in his second year with BMW, yet to win a race for the Bavarian company. Glock in the lead from Ekstrom, Juncadella. Just wondering if some of these guys will make their second pit stop before Glock or Ekstrom. Indeed, the front four make their first stop. We've seen it plenty of times before. Really stirring the order around. A little bit of water on that lens. A very low crowd hanging over Hockenheim as well.
Mary now with the fastest lap, sub 150, 149.648.
Yeah, as they say in DTM, anything's possible. Mary starting right at the back, having a very good run indeed. Doing some very good lap times. Is he building the foundation for some decent points in the Thomas Sabo car, the colours we used to associate with Gary Paffett. That's how the gap has changed. Glock pulling out time on Spengler. So just to re-emphasise that, Glock is lapping quicker than Spengler at the moment. And indeed, Glock is lapping a second quicker than Spengler. We put the clock on them now. Just check out this sector time here between Glock and Spengler. Or something went on just, we caught the back end of something between Green and Tom Chick. We'll watch this clock. Well, this time, in that sector anyway, Spengler was quicker. Quite a battle between this group here, led by Jamie Green and Tom Chick behind him. This is all about 9th, 10th, 11th. Oh, good save there by Tom Chick.
Yes.
Got it sideways on. Just, was he caught? Difficult to see from that angle, might have just been caught. He was trying something a bit radical there. Champion Rocky having a quietest race. Currently in 12th place. Just look at that windscreen now, not much spray on it. In fact, Spengler's turned his off. And now this track really drying out, and this will inject some major intrigue into this race. Who are going to be the first to try some slicks?
So Spengler there, we just saw the back end step out a little bit.
Now the big question mark here is that Glock is thinking, I'll try and make these rain tyres last as long as I can, because I might be able to make the stop onto the slicks. And I don't want to stick another set of rain tyres on and then 3 or 4 laps later have to come in again.
Yep.
So, team of Glock with so much successful racing behind him, of course. Former GP2 champion with iSport. 2 separate stints as a Grand Prix driver, first with Jordan, laterally, of course, with Marussia. Eddie Jordan here yesterday. Never found out what he was doing. Didn't usually come to a place like this without some good reason, obviously on some mission. So this is looking pretty good for Glock. Just compare the last lap times. Glock did a 50.2, Spengler 51.6, so Glock considerably faster.
So we're watching Timo Glock then. Absolutely brilliant performance from him. On board with Timo Scheider. Chasing down Tomczyk ahead.
Timo Scheider sees an opportunity there to keep it tight to the hairpin. Try and get some good traction, but it doesn't work. Down to this next right-hander where they turn off the old return straight. There we go. See the big Mercedes grandstand. And a dry line forming all around this racetrack. Scheider still got his windscreen wipers going. Still quite a lot of spray flying around, as you can see from these shots. Paffett and Farfus still seem to be having a fight. And Gary's doors come open. You can see it very clearly. That's not what you need.
No.
That's a little carbon fibre door. It weighs next to nothing. Timo Scheider chasing Martin Tomczyk. Ekstrom just gone fastest in the first sector, gone purple. So the track definitely drying out. And indeed, Ekstrom closing up on Timo Glock now. What about this battle, Dave?
Well, look at this, Werner. Oh, and they touch.
Well, Vitoris finally switches back down the inside. It's all getting a bit brutal, is this? That's all for 15th, 16th places.
No.
So Werner from the front row of the grid has gone, sadly, solidly backwards.
On board momentarily with Vitoris. And they're side by side now. Whoa!
Well, held it well.
That was yes, that was well held.
I thought Werner might be able to get by him as he just tried to gather it up and sort of put him offline. Jamie Green and Martin Tomczyk wheel to wheel. There's been a lot of wheel to... Oh, Tomczyk goes off into the gravel. Keep it going, keep it going. Yeah, gets back on the track, drops a couple of places.
So we can see that again from onboard Timo Scheider's car. As they head up towards it now, they get together there.
Paffett has been shown a warning flag for a bit of bumping and boring, and so too has Werner. Wow, brutal. Now just side by side, Green and Timo Scheider. Is it quicker to accelerate out down that inside line? Seems to be working for Timo Scheider this time. As they turn right and Timo Scheider gets past Green, moves up to ninth spot. It's quite a gaggle behind them. Glock, Ekstrom and Juncadella the top three. And it's Merry. None of those have made a pit stop. Everyone now hanging out there to see if it dries up enough for slicks. And that's what we reported a couple of minutes ago. Ekstrom closing up on Glock. Lead is now down to 2.5 seconds. And the old hand himself, Eki, showing his speed. There he is in the Red Bull car with the red marking. See how close he is behind Timo Glock now and closing on him with every lap. Juncadela's still in the hunt, Merry as well. There they go, third and fourth. Spengler is 24.5 seconds behind Timo Glock. So that means that Timo will stay in front when Spengler makes his stop, and probably Ekstrom as well, but probably not Juncadella. So
it's all down to when, isn't it, Andrew?
I mean, a lot can happen yet in this race with the track conditions. We have another shower, although just looking up into the sky, the clouds seem to be rolling back here. Still quite a lot of spray there, as you can see. There's Molina, and Molina's now looking for a good position. It's Molina, tries to get past Green.
So Mortara and Green.
Mortara, I mean, not Molina.
And up the inside now of Jamie Green.
And that worked.
Yep,
for Mortara as they turn into the stadium. And off the drag strip, because they run a drag races up there. Well, we're past half distance, and still that front four have not been in for a fresh set of tyres. Waiting to see how it dries out. Rockenfeller in 12th place. Prio now back in 8th. Got a whole gaggle of DTM machinery there together.
So on board with Mike Rockenfeller then.
Very quick lap just come from Timo Scheider in 9th place, and just gone purple in the first sector as well on the next lap. So Timo Scheider suddenly found some speed.
Verline takes a look up the inside.
That works. So much overtaking in this race. Tomchik tries the other side.
Yeah.
Rocky challenging Green now. Mortara just in front of them. Verline in the mix as well.
Just seeing from some of those shots, Andrew, that track is drying better in some places than others, certainly, isn't it?
Yeah. Ekstrom has brought the lead at the front down to 1.9 seconds. And Rocky goes past Green. Green just goes wide.
Verline trying to do the same here.
Verline goes down the inside, and Green's been beaten up a bit, but no, Verline has to come out of it. Oh, Tomchik being lent upon by Vitoris. Well, more contact. I think they must build the sides of those DTM cars pretty damn strong. Quite a bit of abuse going on today.
Yeah. Vitoris, after all that bumping though, has made it work.
The Green Tomchik incident we saw a few moments ago is now under investigation, and already the stewards have agreed no further action. There's Werner and Tomchik side by side, and Ekstrom still reeling in Glock. Werner and Tomchik accelerating out to get almost three abreast here.
Three abreast, damn near.
Oh, what great action we've had here at Hockenheim. And more to come. Can Ekstrom haul in Glock? will be fitting the slicks fairly soon. There's Vittoris with the red mirrors, and give Tomczyk a nice nudge as his back end steps out. All on these Hankook wet tyres, all the same spec of course. Again, that AstroTurf not helping too much. Terrific racing though here for this finale at Hockenheim. Susie Wolf with a fetching trilby on. Or was it a fedora? I'm not quite sure.
Lap 25 of 42, and now you can see just how Ekstrom is beginning to reel Glock in. So Glock now slower than Spengler. So the decision has got to be made, Andrew, hasn't it? Still to stop. Glock, Ekstrom, Juncadella and Merry, but surely they'll bring Glock in now.
I'm sure they will. Here is a great shot of Merry. Flames flicking from the V8 motor, gives about 480 brake horsepower. Different manufacturers all give slightly different figures. Now, Glock has now worn those tyres out. He's slower now than Bruno Spengler.
Yes, as I just said, surely they'll bring him in. Will they? Is the strategy more now about?
Stays out this time.
Is it the gamble to leave it as late as possible to be the first to go on the slicks?
Yeah, maybe they're still trying to figure that out. But we thought Glock would come in this time, and Ekstrom just closing on Glock. It's 1.5 seconds now. There you clearly see the different surfaces. Timo Glock with huge amounts of motor racing experience, but he's just being told what to do by the team. And remember, that's a new team this year. As Rocky there, as Wehrlein getting out of shape behind him. Spengler now just lapped in 150.1. Glock 150.8. Great train of cars here. Rocky leading them in 11th place. And look at Juncadella closed up on Ekstrom. Juncadella in the stern car. And that's the gap between Glock and Spengler. It's now just clipped back to 23 seconds or so. You don't want to go over that too much. But they are really pushing hard. And still just mired down there in 20th place. Have made no real progress today. Andy Prio hanging in there in
still staying
8th now. There's Spengler. Let's have a look about lap times across the line. Glock did a 150.7. Pulled away a bit from Ekstrom actually.
But Ekstrom is suffering now, isn't he? Because he's got Juncadella right behind him.
Yeah, driving defensively now.
This is playing into the hands a little bit of Glock. So Juncadella maintaining that pressure. So this P2 and P3 playing out on screen. Matthias Ekstrom, Danny Juncadella.
Spengler continues to go quicker than Glock. Surely they're going to bring Glock in the next lap or two.
So Juncadella just dives out of the spray of Ekstrom and takes a look. Locks up.
Spins him round.
He locks up and has taken Ekstrom round.
Well, the calm Swede will be fired up after that.
Well, we'll see that in replay, but Juncadella just locked up and was a passenger at that point and then picked up Ekstrom, didn't he? Here it is. Just dived to the inside.
Hit him in the right rear. Did quite a bit of damage to the front of his own car. Just needed a bit more patience, and meanwhile Merry picked his way between the pair of them. Look at Bernd Schneider covering his face. This time, Timo. No. Stays out. Love to hear the radio traffic.
Oh,
Going to be
yes.
very interesting indeed. Merry now in second place. What a drive from Roberto Merry. Today, I think we're waving a finger at him, really. Silly incident. And really compromised Ekstrom's fine run. On board now with Timo Scheider. Well, the lap times are not dropping, David. I thought maybe it was drying out a bit, but I just saw an incident between Rob Wickens just as I looked up out of away from the monitors that the cameras haven't picked up yet. This is a replay of it.
There's
Wickens hands, wasn't it?
Scheider going through from Wittmann.
Tomczyk in. With second set. Hand came in green. Quite a lot have made the jump to the second set. Decided it's going to stay wet. So they've rolled the dice and decided for the remaining laps it's not going to be good enough for slicks. This temperature out there is 16. It's not really drying it off quickly. In the middle of the summer with some heat, might dry off, but that's not the case.
Glock still hanging out.
Yeah, maybe
out
just
there.
loves being in the lead. Been a long time since Timo Glock led a motor race like this. Right, Rockenfeller challenging Vitoris. Werner all over him like a... Just confirm that those pit stops were for rain tyres for Mercedes. Tomczyk, look, has gone on to slicks. Hand has gone on to slicks. We'll be watching their lap times, and let's see what happens. And I suspect that in the Glock pit, they'll be watching the screens very closely, and then they can see what sort of speed that Hand in particular is doing.
So there's another set of wets going on to the Juncadella car.
Waiting for Hand's first couple of flying laps, and that's what the Glock team will be doing. Team M-Tech.
Merry is really
some sort of indicator.
reeling him in now.
Rob Wickens at drive-through for a collision.
So what are they putting on, Andrew? Oh, just missed it. So there, Roberto Merry. I mean, clearly quicker than Glock, isn't he? And Merry dives in now. Glock staying out there.
So sorry, it was Zuccadella, of course, that had the drive-through, wasn't it, just then? Not Rob Wickens, mixing of oranges and reds, and that was for that collision we saw with Ekstrom.
Right, wets going on to Merry's car.
Yeah, well, that seems to be the Mercedes decision, doesn't it?
Yep. 12 laps.
They've got another chance to come in. They've got to make one more stop.
Yep.
Not so critical for them.
So Merry out ahead of Spengler. And on a fresh set of wets.
There's Zuccadella with Prio going past him. Got enough speed. So Hockenheim getting that penalty for that this collision here. The damage to the front of the car. Glock stays out at the front. Everything a little mixed up at the moment. Whitman is on the options at the moment.
So this man that we're watching then, the only one that hasn't stopped yet, Timo Glock. Been out there for 30 laps, Andrew.
But no longer.
Now, in he comes.
And what is the tyre choice? That's key. What will the tyre choice be? And there you see what the tyre choice is. See those grooves? Playing it safe. They've seen the times that the other cars that went out on the slicks were doing, and they decided this is a discretion, the better part of valour. And he's still got the opportunity, of course, to change to slicks later on as he comes out and Merry goes by. So Merry is in the lead of this race. Incredible. Oh, and Glock gets a big slide on, not got enough heat into those tyres yet. Merry, Glock, Spengler at the order. Molina, Ekstrom, who got that punt round. Timo Scheider. Fairline comes in.
So option tyre on for Wehrlein.
Yeah, well,
so Mercedes trying it with that.
The lap times haven't altered in the last half an hour. You know, they're still doing 149, 5s, 150s. So it just shows that the track really isn't drying up. It might look as if there's a driest line there, but it's certainly not much drier, because they'd be going faster if it was. Here's Glock then, chasing after Merry. Mercedes hardly believe this.
Well,
what was it, 13th, their best starting position? There's Toto Wolff. Wonder what Norbert Haug thinks of it all. Spengler in third place. Merry's just put in the fastest lap of the race.
There, Merry. There is Glock.
10 laps remaining. This is really building up as Farfus goes past Jamie Green.
Well, one of the cleaner moves we've seen through there during the course of this hugely entertaining race.
That's for 16th place. Eck is still doing some pretty quick laps out there. Rudely punted round by Hockenheim, now trying to make up for lost time. There he is. Then Miguel Molina from Lorette de Mar. Ten laps to go, but actually the clock has been ticking. Of course, it's a maximum time in this race, and 13 minutes and a half just remaining. So I think it'll be a time race. Of course, a lot of people have got to get their second set of tyres on yet.
Yep, including Merry, Glock, Spengler, Molina.
Now, Whitman on the options is doing 152, so the options are just 2 or 3 seconds slower now as Tom checks into the pits for the last time this season. Mary in the lead. Glock. Good battle between these two Audis. I think Ekstrom's coming through. And Ecky's the man that could produce some fireworks in the closing 12 and a half minutes now. Ekstrom, the fastest man on the racetrack right now. How long did he lose when he was punted round? And now Glock has speeded up, and Glock's just on a 48.292. That's the fastest lap of the race.
Justin Spengler go through. This is Ekstrom. But now Glock trying to reel Mary in. So fastest lap confirmed there, 1:48.292 from Timo Glock. A fairy tale finish to the season it would be for Timo Glock, Andrew.
Absolutely. Well, in the run-up to this race, I'll stop that thought for the moment, because Glock really started to challenge now. Glock really piling on the pressure. Tomczyk behind is a lap down, remember.
Both those cars have got to stop again.
Well, half the field's got to stop again, hasn't it?
Yep.
And Murray went wide. It's been a while since we've seen Roberto Murray at the front of a motor race. A couple of years ago when he was winning the Formula 3 Championship. Glock goes for it this time. Glock's got a bit of extra speed here. Is he in the right place? And Glock knows he's ahead. Timo Glock makes short work of Roberto Murray in just the right place for the hairpin. So Glock back into the lead. Now what about Spengler? Can he do anything about Murray? Not at the moment. Another fastest first sector of the race at Ekstrom. Round the parabolica, the long way round, but carrying a lot of speed, a bit more grip out there, I think. And then on the right line as they come down into that tight hairpin. Crew like it. Been a while since we've had a ex-Formula 1 driver win one of these things.
Now Mary really struggling there with a back marking car. So Tomczyk gets past him.
Yeah, just going past Joey Hand.
So Tomczyk gets past Mary, and Tomczyk way down the order.
Very quick lap just from Ekstrom.
And Mary ran so wide there. We're seeing him replay.
Dropping behind Tomczyk. Effectively doesn't unlap himself because he'd have to get past Glock to do that. Werner makes his pit stop, second pit stop.
Rocky as well.
Rockenfeller, yep, everyone's coming in now. Just 8 minutes remaining. Rocky's last pit stop of the season. What a great service it had in that department from the Phoenix team from the Nürburgring. Just looking at the time of the guys who went on to slicks, it just hasn't worked for them. Tomczyk in his second stop went back to the rain tyre. That says it all, really. Glock then now 2.5 seconds ahead of Merry.
So in comes Merry. Not surprised by that. Seen some wayward moments where he's run wide.
There he goes. Again on the wet, saw the blue markings on the sidewall. Timo Scheider is dispatched. Pretty busy down there at the moment.
Yes.
Glock, Spengler and Ekstrom. Oh, another close one.
So that a replay of that close call in the pit lane. There is Timo Glock.
Got a lot of space at the front now as Timo Glock.
6 minutes remaining, Andrew.
Yeah, over Timo Scheider. He's got 24 seconds. Ooh.
They're standing by.
What's his gap down to?
So Glock in this time.
Merry. Here comes Glock then. It's all going to be decided these final few laps there. A nice shot. Well, we know what tyres are going onto that one without any question.
Good stop.
3 seconds in the wet. Very good stop. Glock out. There's Merry sliding around. That's Hand. It's a lap down. That's Merry. Great strategy from the Mercedes boys. I think he'll become the first former Formula One driver since Mika Hakkinen to win a DTM race. Timo Glock, if he carries on like this.
There you can see, top of the screen, it's changed now. Less than 5 minutes left to run. Glock, Merry, Spengler, Ekstrom, Molina, the top 5.
Whitman in. This is to retire. Lane is now closed. And drive straight into the garage. But a pretty good first season for Whitman. Glock out there in the lead then, and he's got a decent gap over Merry. What about Merry and these close rivals? This is just to fill up the DTM needs. I love to have the former Formula One drivers doing well. Recent years, of course, DC wasn't really able to step up to the plate. There's Merry, 6.4 seconds back. And then Spengler.
Now, Spengler, Ekstrom, close. So 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain in this race. Can Eki get on terms with Spengler, Andrew?
I doubt it with this little time remaining. Han painfully unhappy with his car. Then Green faded to 13th. Prio up to 6th. There's Spengler with Ekstrom chasing over him for the last podium slot. Glock reeling off the laps.
So then, live gap there between Spengler and Ekstrom. Spengler in the BMW bank car, just 2 minutes left on the clock. Ekstrom just behind, but time is running out. Glock then with, 6 seconds over Merry.
Just pondering how long it is since Timo Glock has stood on the top step of a podium, and I reckon it's 2007 when he was winning in GP2. Never had a win, of course, in Formula 1 or Champ Car. The big thumbs up. And just the final 70 seconds ticking away now for Timo Glock racing, going in the other direction. We'll get one more lap in after this. Ekstrom's right behind Spengler though for that third spot. Slow-mo of Glock. Huge fillip for the M-Tech team. Ernest Nors, who put that team together over the last winter. Here comes Glock then. Turn into the stadium. And I think it'll be one more lap. 6 seconds ahead of Merry at the moment. There he goes, he'll have to go on another one. Last lap. But Merry, by far his best performance of the year. He's reduced the gap to 5.2 seconds. You just got a brief glimpse of him. But Timo Glock just got to drive round gently now to get it to the flag. Score his first DTM victory to crown his opening year in this world's fastest touring car series. The team coming out onto the pit wall now from M-Tech. And Glock successfully negotiates the hairpin for the last time. So does Roberto Merry. What a surprise drive from the Spaniard. Really pulled one out of the bag here. Spengler, we don't see it, but still got Ekstrom very close. Molina is in 5th place, Prio in 6th, and it's Vittorius and Werner, but here he comes. Timo Glock heading towards that checkered flag. First for the M-Tech team. And they strain to see him coming. Hearts in their mouths. Round the Sachs curve for the last time. Timo Glock twitching a little bit in the Deutsche Post coloured BMW M3. And he lives just close to the Nürburgring. The flags wave. Have we got the fireworks this year? Yes, we have, and off they go. Light up the sky as Timo Glock lit up the circuit today. And the former Formula 1 driver wins his first motor race. And another great burst of fire, which the smoke engulfs the circuit as Merry comes home in 2nd place, and it's Spengler 3rd. And he spins it around. I hope they don't give him a penalty for that. Wouldn't be surprised. And Now we can't see anything out of the box, Dave. Describe the scene. Describe the scene.
We have smoke in front of us from all those fireworks. What an absolutely outstanding drive from Timo Glock. Outstanding drive from Mary as well to take P2. Spengler P3. But there, Timo Glock then in the Deutsche Post colours.
The strategy certainly worked, staying out long on that first set of wets. We were questioning the strategy.
Well, he was beginning to lose time, wasn't he?
Yeah, but they just timed it absolutely right.
That's what we can see.
That's what we can see. We can see no more than that.
Oh.
And the champion, Rockenfeller, comes to finish his race. But just for the sake of good order, he goes through the smoke. If you can see the checkered flag, it's a bit dangerous, actually, to be honest. So Glock wins. His margin was 2.7 seconds over Mary, and then it was Spengler back in third, having led quite a bit of the race. Then Ekstrom could have been closer, he hadn't been spun around. Then Molina, Prio, his best result of the season.
So,
and Verena is there with James Marco. He's going to be celebrating.
Oh, I'm sure he will be celebrating. He must be raving. Are you raving, first of all? That's the question, because what a fantastic race for Timo Glock. His first victory. Not only that, last time I think an ex-Formula One star won here 2007, so that's phenomenal. Plus, you got the title for the manufacturer championship. So what do you say? How do you feel?
Well, in the words of my boss, I would say all goals achieved, but really fantastic. I mean, Bruno, Timo, super race. Was difficult today with the conditions, but I think we managed everything well, and the guys in the cars, pit stops, they just did fantastic jobs, and I'm so proud of everybody. Andy did a great race, Dirk as well. It was tough out there. There was a lot of touching and boxing, but fantastic crew, and I'm really super proud of everybody.
And I guess with a feeling like that, you're pretty confident about the next year, right? It's good to go into the winter polls like that?
Well, now we sent the M3 into his retirement. On a success like that, no better thing to do that. We celebrate and then we focus on next year.
All right. Thank you very much, and back to you guys.
Just to clarify that, they're going to use the new 4 shape, of course, next season. So just doing some quick number crunching. Audi Sport Team Phoenix has won the team prize, but we just hear there that BMW just snatched the makes prize, the constructors prize, just from the grip of Audi, just right at the end there. So Audi get 2 of the titles, BMW get 1, but at least there was a bit of solace for Mercedes with Mary's good performance.
Well, you can see the fireworks going off there from our commentary box, which is some minutes on from the fireworks going, as we see all the donuts going on. Still see nothing out of the window, Andrew.
No, it's like an old London fog from the 1950s.
Extraordinary.
So, Glock the winner from Mary and Spengler. Ekstrom Molina was 5th. Andy Prio was 6th. Vittoris, who did quite a lot of bumping and boring, 7th. Ditto Werner, 8th. Gary Paffett came to 9th, and you could got that drive-through in 10th. And it was Farfus in 11th. Green 12th. Timo Scheider in 13th. Tombe 14th. Mortara 15th. Rockenfeller in the end finished in 16th place. Fairline 17th. Wickens 18th. Tomczyk 19th. And then Hand, who was a lap down, and Whitman and Albuquerque. Well, Albuquerque outright at the beginning, and then Whitman, you saw, pulling into his pits near the end of the race with a mechanical failure. But, well, the weather can always throw the curveball, as they say in America. It did that today. But Timo Glock started from row 2 of the grid, of course. It was right there. That's a shot of the fireworks going off. There's several thousand euros in that explosion, I think. A couple from the other side of the road as well. One seemed to get actually onto the racetrack. Marshals waved their flags. The M-Tech boys. So what a first season for them to finish with a victory. Wow, it was a race packed with incident and drama. Timo Glock gets his first win. We'll certainly be looking forward for. What's he trying to do now? Drive across in front of everyone. That's to get into Parc Ferme, I think. Somebody rather cleverly done a heart sign. Wickens is stopped out there.
Here, confirmation then of what a race. Timo Glock taking the win from Roberto Meri. Bruno Spengler, P3. Then Matthias Ekström, Miguel Molina, Andy Prio. Brilliant finish for P6. Christian Vettoris 7, Dirk Werner 8. Then it was Paffett 9 and Junkadella 10.
And now we can go down to Verino. She's with Mr. Moser, who, of course, boss of Audi Sport Team Phoenix, winning the prize for the best team.
Yes, I'm here with Ernst Moser, and you must be absolutely thrilled. What a perfect end to the season. Now you also managed to win the team championship. How do you feel, Mr. Moser?
It's a great feeling, yeah, because I'm so happy because of Miguel. He do now today the job for the team championship. Orkin wins the title, and Miguel wins for us at the team championship. So everybody's happy, and now we like to celebrate.
I bet so. Do enjoy. You deserve it. Celebrate hard. And I guess for next year it could continue like this, right?
Yeah, I think with the number 1 and 2 we will start, and we like to keep in the team.
I bet. Thank you so much. Have fun celebrating. Back to you guys.
Yeah, 1 and 2 will be on the card. Did you see the Glock celebration? We've seen in the past the Bruno Spengler throw himself onto the bonnet, but he actually knelt on the roof.
Yes.
In sort of all fours pose. There he is. Still hasn't got his helmet off yet. Rocky seems happy enough. Now Timo Glock just moved the barriers out of the way to go to his partner. I believe it's a model. There's Roberto Meri. He's absolutely buoyed with that result.
Been congratulated by Gary Paffett. That's lovely to see.
When Ralf Schumacher decided not to take part in the racing this season very late, it was said that he was going to mentor people like Roberto Meri and Junkadella, but I haven't seen him around in the second part of the season. There's the points then. Rockenfeller 142, Farfus 116. Spengler takes the third. And looking down there, that's where everybody gets ready here for the victory ceremony and the spraying of the bubbly. And that smoke still hanging in the air. You can see where we see across to the podium now. There's already quite a lot of people up there. What did that say on the boards? Something about cool. And there's Timo Glock. Must be a great feeling. This was the performance. Oh, the roof. Only just took that. Car gets a embrace. Rocky celebrates his championship with a donut or two. Audi Team Phoenix 161, RBM 148, AMG Team 147, and then Schnitzer 112. And so on down. So again, great job by Ernst Moser. Well, today their star man was not the man who's spinning it around here, but this man here. Miguel Molina. Timo Glock's got his crash helmet off finally. Trots up the stairs. Some discussions there between Spengler and Meri. Good race for the Spanish today. And we wish our Spanish co-commentator a good recovery from his recent health problems. Bit of hat swapping going on. Definitely Mary's best drive in DTM race. Short fellow, as you can see, Timo Glock. Hops up onto the top step of the podium. Long time since he was there. Second place, Bruno Spengler. Stefan Heinrich on the microphone, really winding the crowd up.
So, Roberto Meri then. And here comes Bruno Spengler.
Gives it a jump, despite he was only third from the pole. Just Nors. Timo Glock then blows kisses to the sky. I think that's his girlfriend Isabel down there we saw. And maybe those kisses to the sky are also, well, of course, Sean Edwards, and we mourn his loss just last Tuesday. So, looks like a boxer, doesn't he?
Yep.
The MTech boss saying, "This is for you guys." To Clemens Klinker from Dekra. Roberto Meri pleased with that. And the Lord Mayor of Hockenheim, Mr. Dieter Gummer, hands over the trophy for Bruno Spengler, the outgoing champion. Of course, we already know the schedule for next year in the DTM. We'll be coming here to Hockenheim twice. No Brands Hatch, no Zandvoort next season. But we'll have a race back in China. We'll also be going to Hungaroring for the first time. So they stand for the photographs. End of what has been a hectic season of DTM racing. Mike Rockenfeller crowned the champion at Zandvoort a couple of weeks ago. But here we see Team Phoenix taking the team award, but BMW taking the award for the best manufacturer. And Bruno Spengler coming home for third place in the championship. So Timo has the gold bottle. So the rain certainly didn't spoil the party. Big crowd here again despite that. Already filtering out. See the huge grandstands in front of us already started to empty. And Glock still absolutely delighted with that. So sure, Verino try and grab an interview with him if possible, but there's going to be a lot of people wanting him. There's Rocky. And now we're going to have a presentation, I think, Dave, for the championship. There's our skydiving ace, who made his Baumgartner, who made his racing debut yesterday in the Sirocco Cup, and did a pretty good job of it.
Yes.
And Rocky waiting to be interviewed by Stefan. So now we're going to see Spengler and Farfus onto the podium. Here we are. Mark up for the manufacturers. Spengler third. Good drive here today. Secured that for him. Dumped Vitoris from that spot. Farfus came into this race having won the 2 previous rounds, and of course the first Hockenheim he was a horrible American Express, the winning most driver of the season. But no question about the champion. We've known it for 2 weeks. Right, Rockenfeller. And did it for the Phoenix Racing Squad in the Audi A5. I think we could be having another national anthem coming up. The flags wave. It's never over until the thin lady sings, and she has sung. And the trophy now will be handed over. See hands stuck there. It's part of the party. This is Mr. Clemens Klinker from Dekra. Hands over the trophy for the best manufacturer for the 2nd year running to BMW. It's pretty heavy, that.
Yes.
And the different flags of the nations around it. And stuck. 3rd place to Bruno Spengler. Well, he couldn't make it 2 seasons in a row, but excellent 3rd place from the French Canadian. Now, a man who fell from space. Stratospheric skydiver.
There you go.
Gustav Farfus, very good year for him. This one's even bigger. Almost need a crane to lift that up. Mr. E.C. Ahn, the Vice President of Hankook Tyres Europe. More fireworks. And more razzmatazz. And Rock, you remember that moment. And all the glitter trail. Oh, what a scene here
yes,
at
it's
Hockenheim.
magnificent.
Those final bits of foil have fluttered back down again. Till the firecrackers go off. And great images here of a true champion. Took him a while to get there, but Mike Rockenfeller was the star of the season. He didn't just sneak it, he won this in style. He'll put today's race down as his worst of the year, of course. Going home in 16th place.
Yes.
So we're waiting for the next bit of this presentation. And now we can hear from Roberto Murray. Remarkable drive from him.
Yeah, I'm here with Roberto now. Remarkable what you did today, your very first podium, and that in the very last race of the season. How do you feel? I mean, you are smiling from one ear to the other.
I mean, yeah, it was a good race because counting that I start from 21 and then I have the drive-through penalty and I finished second. I mean, it's quite amazing. No, it was a good race. I mean, the car was really good. The team did a fantastic job on the pit stops, and all the time we were really fast. Most of the race was a bit of a shame that with the second set of tires I was a bit off the pace. You know, there is where I lose the position with Timo. But anyway, I mean, I am really happy because before the race I didn't imagine that I can finish second. I was so happy this morning when I saw that it was raining like hell. I thought this is my chance, and it was like this. And in the end I finished second. I did it and quite happy with it, and looking forward, you know, for the next year to try to be competitive in the dry as well. And looks like we always had a wet setup on the car that is fantastic for the rain, but for the qualifier it was not so good. But next year for sure we will be better.
I bet you will be. Then next year we'll see you on the podium in first place. Okay. Thank you so much, Roberto. Back to you guys while I look for the other guys.
Thanks very much, Verena. And once again, congratulations on motherhood. Here's some images of the opening part of the race. So slippy. Rocky went off on the first corner. I think that was probably deliberate. Trying to find some grip out there. Didn't make a great start, you see, did Rockenfeller. Timo Scheider came flying down the inside alongside the pit wall. And more shots of several of them going off. Wickens another one, Tarnbay. Here's the start from Rockenfeller's car. Just didn't get the grip, and Farfus came blasting past, as did Tomczyk. And Rocky decided to take to the countryside. This is Molina and Werner. And now we can hear from the winner of the race, Timo Glock. Welcome back to the top step of the podium.
Absolutely, Timo, what a phenomenal race. I mean, you must be so thrilled. Last time that a ex-Formula 1 driver managed to win here was 2007, that was Häkkinen. But despite that, I mean, your first year in the DTM and you won. How do you feel?
I don't know. I mean, at the moment it's really mixed emotions, I have to say. It's unbelievable. First of all, I want to just give this win to Maria De Villota and John Edwards. We lost them 1 week ago, 1.5 weeks ago, and I had a pretty good contact with them. Shaw was driving under the Deutsche Post flag as well, and there's every time a tough time, but life goes on, and yes, today was just awesome. I mean, yesterday already we had a very good car, and I just could feel that there is something possible, a podium, but I didn't expect a win. And I'm just happy and very proud of my engineering team because we just really pushed hard for a certain setup direction. I thought we have to go with that car and what I needed to have more confidence, and it paid off already in Zandvoort with being in the top 10 in qualifying, but unlucky in the race. And here yesterday we showed the pace, we went another step, quite aggressive step in that direction, and it just paid off. I had a very good feeling, and this morning or midday when we went out of the pits in the wet conditions, I was really scared because the car was just all over the place the first moment with new tires, but after 2 laps I just felt the car is just on the target, and I just could push everywhere where I wanted, and it was so easy to drive. And it was just a really nice race in front of home crowd here in Hockenheim. Thanks to BMW for the chance and that we won the Constructors' Championship at the end. That's good to keep that in our house.
So it couldn't go any better. Well, congratulations. We're very thrilled, and I hope it continues the way it ended next year. Thank you so much, Timo. And while I go look for Rocky, back to you guys.
Thanks very much. Yes, Timo, happy with that. Nice dedication too. Some of the fraught action during this race we're showing you. Highlights of... well, that was a key moment when Glock passed Andy Prio. Prio getting his best result of the season here. Not his best ever result. His best ever result was here at his very first DTM race a couple of years ago. More bumping and boring. Back with Rocky. And now we can hear from Gustav Farfus.
Yeah, Gusto here, who is the second in the championship. I mean, you must be raving about that. But talking about the race today, of course, it was very disappointing. You ending in P11. But all in all, how do you feel?
Yeah, I think we had the pace to be on podium. I had a very strong start. I think in turn 2 I was, top 5 probably. And then I got turned around, and then of course the race was compromised by that accident. But I'm very pleased. I think we should not look for the single race, should look for the big picture, and the bigger picture is super positive. I mean, I'm vice champion in my second year. We won the manufacturer championship, so I'm very thankful for the support from BMW, and I'm looking forward for 2014.
I bet so are we. Thank you so much, Augusto. And let's just grab the champion 2013. That is Mike Rockenfeller, of course. Didn't mean to, sorry, sneak up on you. Congratulations, DTM champ 2013. And you seem so calm. How come?
I'm quite disappointed with today's race. Unfortunately, everything which can go wrong or shouldn't go wrong in a race went wrong today, and I'm happy that it was this race and not any other race this year. So it's okay, I can live with that for sure, but I would have loved to be in the points to help the team a bit more. But Miguel did his job, we won the team championship, so it's a great day. And championship we knew before that we already won it, so it's all good, and I'm really happy and proud. I think BMW showed again how quick they are, and therefore we can be even more proud to win against them this year and make the difference.
Absolutely, a very modest Rocky. Congratulations, you are the champ. Just let me remind you again, that is worth a smile. So back to you guys.
Certainly is worth a smile. Rocky is the champion. As we still continue with some of the highlights, and there was an incident which got Juncker drive through, and that was the reaction. And I think we can go back to Verena again.
Yes, I'm now here with Bruno. Well, starting in pole position, ending up on P3. I guess you're a little disappointed. However, you still managed to get third place in the championship. And how does it feel all in all? I mean, last year you were champion, so I guess you're not that thrilled, but you fought so hard, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally disappointed. Yesterday was a great day for us, Pole position, car was great. I was so happy. I mean, I had a great car in qualifying. I was really, really happy. And today in the race, also, it wasn't bad. I mean, the first stint, when the track was really wet, I could pull away quite good from the rest of the field. And as soon as the track started to dry out a little bit, I was struggling. I was struggling with a lot of understeer, and I just couldn't find any pace. I just couldn't push more than I was doing. I was giving my best, but it wasn't possible. I was just struggling a little bit with the balance of my car, but I just tried to save ourselves and try to drive to the finish. And team did a great job. We had great pit stops today, so it's good. It's good for BMW also. We win the manufacturer championship today on the last race. And for me, being third in the championship with all the, all the bad luck I had in the last four races is still a good result. Trust me, because when you have 4 times 0 points, it's still a really good result to be third in the championship.
Absolutely. Congratulations to that. Thank you, and back to you.
Yes, Bruno had those poor races, no points, but still got that third. Interesting words from him. There's a rocky pit stop from Team Phoenix. And tyres rolled away. This was the explosion at the end. It blanked out our commentary box, couldn't see a thing. They do this every year, only at the finale. And arches of smoke and flags waving everywhere. Quite a show. DTM, of course, will start here again at Hockenheim next season. 2014 season kick-off here. And it's quite a late start, actually, as this year. We'll start in May. First weekend in May. And it'll be interesting to see over the winter what changes there'll be in the driver lineup. We're still wondering whether Mercedes will increase to 8 cars. No news of any new manufacturers coming in, at least for 2014. So we'll have to see if there's any big switches amongst the drivers, any new boys come in. There's been suggestions that maybe Felix Rosenqvist could be in line for a ride. You know that some of the BMW drivers, not all of them, have signed for next year. Audi tend to be very loyal to their team members. Jamie Green, of course, at the start of a new contract, really only will be his second year. So I suspect that the lineup will be pretty similar in 2014. Question mark, of course, over Andy Priaulx. Has he done enough today to keep that seat? There's always a chance that he might be switched to the BMW campaign, I suppose, in North America. And that might let in Maxime Martin, the reserve driver, who was in fact racing in America this weekend. So we had great support races from the rest of the DTM. We've had the Volkswagen Scirocco Cup champion crowned this weekend in young Kelvin van der Linde. Did a great job. Porsche Carrera Cup championship also won, of course, earlier today. And also the Formula 3. So plenty of champions crowned.
No, there was talk there, Andrew. We were discussing earlier, Marcello, who took that Formula 3 win, whether DTM is a potential route for him, possibly.
Yeah, I also hear that he might be testing a World Series by Renault car in the next few days. So that might be a possible route also. I mean, he's obviously a single-seater man. Last two F3 champions have, of course, moved to Mercedes from their success in Formula 3. Nice shot here of Timo Glock. Shows that former Formula 1 aces can win still in the DTM. There's the Manufacturers' Championship. 369 it was to BMW, 347 to Audi, and 266 to Mercedes-Benz. Not their greatest season, has to be said. Marco Wittmann, who was the Rookie of the Year, previously the reserve driver for BMW. He did a good job this season, solid job, and flew the flag of the Ice Watch Company, new sponsors this season.
Andy Priaulx in the Crown Plaza car, Andrew, and as you were alluding to, has he done enough in his performance over qualifying and the race this weekend to guarantee his continuation in DTM? So fine showing from Andy Priaulx to race to 6th place. Bruno Spengler in the BMW Bank car. And Spengler, of course, third in the race today. But all about this man in the race, Timo Glock. And there his celebratory donuts. Mr. Jens Marquardt then holding that trophy aloft.
Is that glass or perspex? I wonder.
I reckon that's glass.
Do you? Yeah, I want to have a good look at it. Yeah.
You know, just by the weight with which it seemed to carry.
Just waiting for the press conference to come up. We'll hear more from the drivers there. Here's the team championship. It was 161 to Team Phoenix, 148 to Team RBM, the Belgian squad, and then the still AMG pairing just at 1 point behind that. So that was close for second in that championship, and Team Schnitzer in fourth place.
So seeing images there of Molina.
Yeah, well, there would have been a question mark over Molina staying with Audi.
Yes.
He had a great season, great 2 seasons really, and maybe he's done enough today to hang in there.
So on board with Rocky then as he
rotates. Rocky rotates. Yeah.
Yes.
Very disappointed with his race today, as you heard from that interview. Everything went wrong for him. But he got to hold that trophy up aloft. So the crowd working their way home. It's got some support vehicles there, lights flashing. Still that track hasn't dried up.
No.
So the ADAC scoop you up if you break down on the road in Germany. Big organisation. And the fans enjoying their time down on the grid as we wait for this press conference to come. No word yet what the story is. Here's some more images that probably didn't see in the race, some different images. Joey doing a bit of exercising there.
There's Toto Wolff.
Yeah.
See Toto Wolff walking through there. Ernst Moser. And then the start.
So the press conference will be in what they call the Sachs Tower. It's been there for years. It's a round building. And now we are going to the press conference. So for me, Andrew Marriott, Dave Richardson, we're going to take our leave and say goodbye and thanks for joining us all season. And we'll hand it over to our press conference.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome from my side to this press conference after the last and final race of the